Hello friends, may you all be safe. Adobe Photoshop Beta has some such features, which belong to the generative fill. You may or may not be familiar with them. This is a feature that is quite impressive, and you can benefit a lot from it, and you can surprise others too. We will try to find out these hidden features, which allows you to give better effects to your images. So, let's start the video. As it is in front of an image of a glass door. If we make a selection here, suppose we made a selection in this lower part, and in generative fill, we will just write cat in the prompt, and click on generate. Now, the generative fill will create an image of the cat in this selection area. After the image is created, look at the image carefully. Here you will see the difference between intensity and opacity. Intensity refers to the brightness or purity of a light or color, while opacity describes how much light a material blocks or prevents from passing through. The difference here is one of intensity, not opacity. It doesn't feel like the cat image is behind the door. It's like there's no glass in the middle. Reducing the opacity makes the image look like it's behind the glass. But this is affecting the brightness and contrast of the image. I want to introduce the feature, so I'm deleting this layer from here. Pressing Q in Photoshop toggles quick mask mode. The red color on the layer tells us that the quick mask mode has been created. Here we will keep the foreground color white. Take the brush tool and set the hardness to 80%. The brush size will be set accordingly. If you press Ctrl plus backspace, it will create a mask here. In a way, it will become a mask over the image. You can see that we have set the foreground color to white. Now with the brush, we give a stroke here. To exit quick mask mode, press Q again. And here we generate the image of cat again. And as usual, it will generate 3 images. This image is still visible in its full intensity. This is because we kept the foreground color completely white. Our goal here is not to generate 3 different types of images. I disable this layer and press Q again. This will put it into quick mask mode. But this time, we will do something different with the foreground color. This time, we will reduce the brightness of the foreground color to 50%. If you do 40%, it will be darker. We will try at 50%, so we will click OK at 50% here. This means that now our foreground color is 50% gray. We will create a mask by pressing Ctrl plus backspace. And with the brush, we'll apply a stroke here. And press Q to exit quick mask mode. Now we don't see a selection here, but there is a selection. The reason why selection is not visible is because we have set the brightness to 50%. If it is more than 50%, the selection will be clear visible. Now we generate the image of the cat here. And this time, we will see a clear difference. So, you can now understand that this difference is one of intensity. The opacity is 100%. But the difference is in the intensity. That is, on the one hand, we have reduced the intensity of the image. Now, all the images of cat are here. Now it seems like the cat is on the other side of the glass door. while in the previous images, we had set the brightness to 100%. In it, the image of a cat is visible, outside the glass door. But here we feel, as if this cat image is on the other side of the glass door. The difference between intensity and opacity should be clear here. An intense color is vibrant, whereas an opaque material completely blocks light and visibility, like a wall. While a material with low opacity, like frosted glass, is partially transparent. Now we will talk about another image here, which is the image of a model. The head is missing from the image of this model, it is not complete. We will take the crop tool here and crop the image to your liking, at the top. If you press Ctrl and click on the layer thumbnail, the image will be selected. We will invert this selection by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus I. In Generative Fill, we will not write any prompt. We will just click on Generate. So you see that the Generative Fill itself made her head and hair. If we look closely at the image, we see a line here. We will merge both layers by selecting them and pressing Ctrl plus E. This will convert the image into a single layer. Now we will take the removal tool from here. And with the help of the remove tool, we will draw a line. In the message of removing area, we have to remove this line. And on the other side, we will also draw a line. And this tool will remove that line from the image. Now that line will be completely removed from the image. Now, zoom in on the image as much as you want, and you won't see that line. You must know the wonders of this removal tool. You will definitely know how to complete an incomplete image with the help of Generative Fill. But in the previous image, the difference between intensity and opacity was. How do we generate it so that it appears behind the glass door? We'll try another image now. Press Q to enter Quick Mask Mode. And here we keep the brightness at 100%. Press Ctrl plus Backspace to create a mask on the image. And with the help of the brush tool, we will make a selection here. Pressing Q again will exit Quick Mask Mode. In the prompt we will just write fish and click on Generate. You can see images of fish at 100% brightness. Fish images are generated with full intensity. I disable this layer and press Q again to go into Quick Mask Mode. We will reduce the brightness here, that is, we will reduce the intensity. We will reduce the brightness to 50%, meaning we will reduce the intensity. This game is all about intensity. Press Ctrl plus Backspace to create a mask on the image. You know it's 50% gray. And with the help of the brush tool, we create a selection. Press Q to exit Quick Mask Mode. The selection will not be visible. But the selection is there. We will type fish in the generator fill, and click on Generate. And this time, look at the three images of the fish. It feels like it's underwater. Whereas in the previous image, because the brightness was 100%. So this image is visible outside the water, with full intensity. It looks weird, creating an image like this. But if you reduce the brightness, and generate the image. We set the brightness to 50% so it feels like the fish is underwater. You must have understood this game of intensity and opacity. You know very well about the removal tool. Intensity relates to brightness or strength of light source or purity and vibrancy of a color. And opacity defines a material's resistance to light passing through it. A high-intensity color is bright and pure. whereas a low-intensity color is more muted or desaturated. But high opacity is highly opaque material, such as a wall. Blocks all light and visibility. Intensity describes the quality or strength of a light or color, while opacity describes the ability of a medium to block light. I hope you like this video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.